YouTube channel, and today we having the session about how to become a full stack developer. So before starting the session, please quickly confirm you can hear me properly or not. Do confirm everyone if you can hear me. I'm waiting for your reply. If you can hear me, please do confirm and do let me know if you're willing to become a full stack developer. So just do let me know your technical background. If you are a fresher, do let me know I'm a fresher. If you are experienced one, do let me know I'm having the experience. So just do let me know about your detail so that it will help me to deliver the session. Everyone, please do share your detail. Okay, thank you for the confirmation. You can hear me. So few people having the experience. What about the others one? And do let me know from which location you are joining. So I'm going to share the presentation with you. So in today's session, first we will try to understand what is the full stack development and who can become the full stack developer. So those are the things I'm going to share here. Okay, let me share that few things. The Krishna is joining from Faridabad. Tushar is having the 15 years of experience. Okay, Shima having the 10 plus of experience. Okay, some people are joining from Sri Lanka as well, North Africa as well. Okay, glad to hear. So let me tell you about first about what is the full stack and how can become the full stack developer. So at the end of the today's session, you will have a clear path how to become a full stack developer. And what are the queries, what are the doubts you will have, you can keep asking in the chat window. I will answer the things. So let me share my screen quickly. Then I will come to that one. Okay, I'm just sharing a PPTs here. How many people are here .NET developer and how many people are here Java developer, Node.js developer? Can you tell me around that? What are the technology you know? So do let me know what technology you know. Okay, Krishna no .NET, Salim no .NET. I hope you can see my screen. Am I right? I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay. So the agenda for the today's session is a roadmap to become a full stack developer. So first we will discuss about what is a full stack and who is a full stack developer and what are the popular full stack frameworks you can use to follow the path. And finally, I will give you a roadmap to become a full stack developer. Then we will talk about the job opportunities, career scope, and I will take your question answer finally. So what are the doubts? What are the question answer you will have? You can ask in the last. Even I'm looking at the chat as well. In between also you can ask the set of question. So let's start with the things. So this is about myself in brief. So my name is Shailen Chauhan. I'm the founder and CEO of ScholarHead and .NETix. I'm the technical speaker and the technical consultant. I'm Microsoft VP from last 7 years. I'm a solution architect, corporate trainer. I'm Microsoft certified as a professional. I have written 15 plus interview question answer books. I have trained more than 1 lakh students on various technologies, especially on .NET, full stack, cloud. These are my expertise. So let's start with the session. So first, let's understand what is the full stack. So when it is coming the full stack, in the full stack, there are three things are involved. We having the front end, we having the back end, and we having the database. So front end is that thing that is visible to the end user. So how you can design the front end? So front end you can design using the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript library and framework. And backend we can write in Node.js, .NET, Java, PHP, Python. So ultimately you're building the API. And then we having the database. For the database, we having the SQL database and we having the NoSQL database. So one of the database you should know SQL or NoSQL database. So ultimately as a full stack development or for doing the full stack development, you should have the understanding of front end part, you should have the understanding of back end, you should have the understanding of the database. So these are the three things you need to know. Even these are the stack we having in any web application, whatever we are building there. Now come to the next slide. So now who is a full stack developer? Let's try to understand. So we having the two types of developers here mainly. We having the front end developer who are responsible for designing the UI or building the UI using the front end technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We having the Angular, we having the React. So these are the front end technology. As a front end developer, you must know. When it is coming the backend, as a backend developer, you need to know one of the stack, let's say .NET stack, Java stack, Python stack, Node.js stack. So one of the stack you should know. So whenever you are clubbing the front end and backend together, so it will become the full stack. So full stack is developer is a person who can do the job of backend developer, who can do the job of the front end developer. So ultimately, both the job is going to done are handled by the full stack developer. That is about the full stack we have in there. I hope the things are clear to everyone. If you have any query, any doubt, please do ask. Now let's look at what are the most popular full stack development frameworks we are having. So when it is coming to the most popular full stack development framework, so we having the many of them. But here I'm taking the example of only the most popular one. Like we having the mean stack, where we having the MongoDB, Express.js, Angular, Node. We having the MERN stack, we having the MongoDB, Express.js, React, and Node.js. We having the full stack .NET, where we having the ASP.NET Core, MVC, Web API, SQL Server. So these are for the full stack .NET. Similarly, we having the Java full stack, where we having the Spring Boot, MVC, REST API, and MySQL. So these are the things we having in the Java full stack. So if you're willing to become a full stack developer, you have to decide one of the framework. So you have to decide either main stack, MERN stack, either .NET, either Java. These are the most popular one. So one of the stack you have to decide to become the full stack developer. Meanwhile, if you have any query, any doubt about it, please do ask. Make it a more question answering discussion session. So what are the queries? What are the doubts you having? Please do ask. Okay. Someone asking me here, what is the future of .NET? Bright or dark? Okay. So future of .NET is bright. There is no doubt because .NET is already used by the top MNCs in the world for building their application. So what are the most popular MNCs we having? They're using the .NET, IBM, we having the Stack Overflow, we having the many more companies who are using the .NET. So there is no such issues over there. Even when it is coming to deciding .NET, Java, JavaScript, all the technology are used by almost same companies. It's not the case one company using the one technology, one company using the many technology. But you have to decide for which project you are working. So depending upon the project, the things will be decided. I think you're talking about the Python. Okay. So when it is come with the Python, so Python in the Python as well, we having the framework for doing the same thing. In Python, we having the Django. So with the help of Django, you can build the website, you can build the API. And for the database, you can go ahead with MySQL, you can go ahead with the PostgreSQL, whatever you like. That can be used there. Okay. So Karthik asked me, is HTML CSS necessary for the full stack? Of course. As I said here, full stack developer is doing the job of two people, front-end developer and the back-end developer. So as a front-end developer, you must know the HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, even one of the front-end framework, a library like Angular or React. So these things you must know apart from the HTML and CSS. Make sense? How the Java can be used for the front-end. And the Java, you can do the front-end because front-end does not mean Java purely you're using over there. Java mainly we use for the backend. Front end you have to build using HTML, CSS, and you can use over there Spring Boot, MVC. Because in MVC we can design the UI. But if you're looking for the front end library to do the things, you can go ahead with Angular and React. So Spring and MVC can use to build the front end part of the application. But that front end would be rendered on the server side. So you have to understand here we having the two types of front end technology here. Some technology are going to render only from server side. Some technology are going to render from client side as well as server side. So Java, in Java we having Spring MVC, in .NET also we having the .NET Core MVC. So these are technology are going to render from server side. But when it is coming the Angular and the React, they are going to render on the client side. There is a difference we having. Okay, Nirav is asking, considering Python and data science in demand, can we say Python will replace other? No, no language can replace the others one because .NET already used by the many companies. .NET is not a new programming language. It's not a new framework actually, not programming language. C# is a programming language that is people are using from the 2002. So it is not possible to replace. Even Java cannot be replaced. That's what happens here. Only the uses of the languages become less. But we cannot say one language will replace to another one. No, because every language having a use case. So when it is coming the use case of the Python, of course, Python use case is good. When it is coming the machine learning, data science, so there Python is used. But Python is not replacing any other language because When it is coming to building the full stack or building the website, their JavaScript is going to consider the most popular and widely used language, not the Python. When it is coming to building the backend, so .NET, Java are going to consider the best one. Even Node.js also going to consider the best one. Python does not. So in every area we having some preference. What are the preference you having? Of course, Python you can use for building the backend as well, but mostly company don't prefer the Python for building the backend. They prefer either JavaScript, either .NET, either Java. These are the preference. Okay, Kushi Patel is asking what I'm in college about to graduate, which language I should learn. So Kushi Patel, you have to think about the few things. First of all, you can learn any language is not the case, because most important thing for the college graduate is you should know the fundamental well. You should have the logic building skill. You should have the problem solving skill. So work on these section first. So you should know the DSA. I'm not saying DSA at advanced level, because in the DSA we having the two level one and level two. So level one is applicable for the logic building. So make sure you are good in the logic building, you are good in the problem solving skill. It can be done using Java, it can be done using Python as well, whatever language you like. Just work on this skill first. Then think about learning the front end or back end. So when it is coming to nowadays, the most popular one for front end and back end is JavaScript. Because JavaScript we will prefer. So there we having the Node.js. So Node.js, JavaScript you can learn for learning the front end as well as back end. So this way you can decide. So first preferences for building logic building, and problem solving skill. Then go for the front end part. So Java stack means it is going to be along with front end framework. Java stack I said here, yeah, of course, when it is coming to the full stack, in full stack we having the two section, front end or back end. So of course, back end part will be handled by the Java, front end part will be handled by the HTML, CSS. Even it would be decided by you whether you are going Angular or React, or whether you are using the Spring Boot MVC. So this is the way how the things are going to do. And guys, even you can ask the question in Hindi as well. अगर किसी को हिंदी में क्वेश्चन पूछना है तो आप पूछ सकते हो. आई नो हिंदी वेल, और आपका मैं आंसर भी हिंदी में ही दूंगा. सो व्हाट आर द लैंग्वेज यू फील व्हेन हिंदी और इंग्लिश, आप क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो. देयर इज नो इशू. ओके, so Dragon, you have enrolled in advanced full stack course past week. Okay, well done. You have joined the things well. So please follow the instruction whatever we are giving to you, so that you will get the logic building skill as well as working on the project element. Do the hands-on lab, do the project, and keep revising the session over there. It depends upon what are the things, how you are going to explore over there. Angular or React or any front-end framework does not have any dependency on a backend. Angular can be used with .NET, Angular can be used with Java, Angular can be used with Node.js. With any stack, it can be used. It's up to you. What you are willing to use there. Any other queries do you have? Okay, let's move to the next slide here. What is the roadmap to become a full stack developer? So to become a full stack developer, first you need to focus on learning the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and only learning the things will not help you until you will not do some practice. So do the hands-on lab, create some workflow. Even in every session, I instruct to my student, whenever you're learning any technology, you have to always make the workflow a real life example. If you're not doing that one, that learning you are not able to connect, because knowledge is just like we having the dots here. So these dots we have to connect. Until you will not connect these dots, you will not have the expertise. So expertise will come only whenever you will do the hands-on. In HTML, the hands-on can be create a login page, sign up page, creating visiting card design, create a a blog home page, create a shopping cart design. So such UI you should design using the pure HTML, using the pure CSS. So this is the only way of learning the things. If you are not doing such hands-on lab, so will not able to connect, because you just know what is HTML. So people know in HTML we having the element, we having the heading, we having the form, but that thing will not help you until you are not making something by using those elements, those things. So create the workflow, that is very important. Then move to the Bootstrap, Angular, and React. Of course, only learning the pure HTML, pure CSS will not help you to make the beautiful website or pretty website. If you're looking for making the impressive or beautiful website, you should know one of the front end framework like Bootstrap we have been, that is widely used for building the UI. Along with Bootstrap, you should know Angular and the React. You have to learn only one, either learn Angular, either learn React. You don't need to learn both of them. And again, try here making the workflow. Create a workflow for create a website for the blogging, create a website for, let's say, shopping purpose, create a website for, let's say, uh, the OTT like platform. Such thing you should design, because until you will not make the design, you will not able to connect how to use the things in the real life. So far we are talking about only making the front end. So if I'm taking the example of, let's say, we are going to design an e-commerce website, like we having Flipkart, we having the Amazon. So you are building the UI only using the HTML, CSS, Angular, React. When it is coming to building the backend, so now pick a backend framework here. It can be .NET, it can be Java, it can be Node.js. So using the Node.js, using the .NET, you can build the API, because this front end need to fetch the data from the database. We need to perform the database operation over there. So there we need to create an API. So how will we create the API? API you have to create in .NET, Node.js, or Java, whatever the backend you're willing to use. And again, here you have to practice. Create the workflow for login purpose, create the workflow for shopping cart, create the workflow for integrating the payment gateway. So create such workflow, because these workflow are equally important. Because whenever you are going to work in the real life, what you are doing in the real life, you are going to assign to a SRS. A task will be given to you. And in that task, what you will do? In that task, you have to create a workflow for the login. In that task, you have to create a workflow for the sign up. In that task, you have to design a shopping cart. In that task, you have to make the home page of the website. So such tasks you have to practice. Such workflow you have to practice. So ultimately, when it is coming to earning the experience, because there is a question many student ask me how we can get the experience in .NET, in Angular and React, or as a full stack developer? How we can prove our expertise? So for proving your expertise, you have to build first workflow. As I given the example, create the workflow for login, sign up, shopping cart, create the workflow for payment gateway. Such workflow into practice. After that, just connect them together. So when you will connect them together, you are going to make a complete end-to-end application. Because a project is nothing. A project is a combination of many workflow. So when these workflow will connect together, it will make a final project. This is the things. The next we having the database. So database is equally important as we having the front end, as we having the back end. Even database is the heart of the application. Everything is revolving around the database. So you must have a good understanding about the database tables, their relationship. We having the joins over there, we having the store procedure, we having the function. So these many things you should know well. Because when it is coming to query the database, if you are not aware of how we can write the query, how we can make the query better, how everything we can do on the server side, how we can apply the restriction to perform the operation on database table. So those things are coming under the database. So we having their joins, we having their subquery, we having their query, we having over the store procedure, we having their function, trigger, cursor. So these are the things everyone should know if you are going to run a SQL database. Even nowadays, we are using the NoSQL database as well. Like we have in MongoDB, we have in the Cosmos DB, and many others. So when it is coming the mean stack and man stack, people are using over there MongoDB. But when it is coming .NET, people are using SQL Server. When it is coming to the Java, people are using the MySQL. So these are the SQL database there. Then finally, you will have the real world application. As I said, if you are doing the practice of creating the workflow, the name I have given to hands-on lab. Even in our training program, same thing we are doing. So around each topic, we having the many hands-on lab to do. Because real learning comes only when you will do the lab. If you are not doing the lab, then there is no real learning. Then club them together to make the workflow. Then further club the workflow to make a end-to-end real world application. So the real world application, we having the e-commerce website. We having the real world application, let's say OTT platform. We having the real world application like we having the EdTech platform. Like we having the scholarhead.com, we having the .netx.com. So these are the real world application. You need to practice. Make sense to everyone? Okay, let me give some question answer in between. Yes. So in .NET Core view part, that is CSS HTML page, can we write Angular code there for front end? Of course, you can write the Angular code over there for the front end. Of course, we integrate the things. So Nimit is asking what I have knowledge of core MVC, Web API, and SQL Server is required to add Angular to get job in good MNC like TCS and product-based company. So what are the things you know, Nimit? These are the back-end things you know. But when it is coming the full stack developer, because full stack developer right now in demand, you need to add one of the front-end library and framework. So Angular is a good to add into your skill if you're looking for a good salary package. Because the full stack salary, of course, is higher than only backend developer salary and only front-end developer salary. For job change, it will help you. Just add Angular or React. Faisal here, when it is coming to the Angular, if you are starting from Angular 2, so of course Angular 2 you can start, but we don't have much difference in the upcoming version as well. So this way we can do the things simply. To go ahead, So let me take few more question. I have the knowledge of Angular, only knowledge of jQuery. That is fine. jQuery is not necessary to get started with Angular. If you know the jQuery, that's fine. Angular you can learn separately. There is no such challenge. Okay. So where the server-side code will be deployed in order to make it available online. So when it is coming to the hosting, it is the question of around the hosting. So hosting you have to do either on cloud, either in the on-prem environment. So when it is coming the on-prem environment means every company having their own data center. In the data center, we having the physical server. On the physical server, we deploy our application. And that physical server is connected to a public IP. Using that public IP, we access the website. Similar way in the cloud, they also having the data center. So when it is taking the example of let's say Azure having the data center in Mumbai, they have in Hyderabad, they have in Pune. So in that location, they having the data center. Data center means there is a real building they having. In the real building, they having the many physical server. And on that physical server, we having the option to create the virtual machine that we create using the Azure portal. If it is a Azure cloud, if you're using the AWS, we create using the AWS portal there. And then finally, we deploy the code over there. And that VM is connected to your public IP. And that public IP is connected to your domain. So whenever you're accessing the scholarhead.com, so scholarhead.com is mapped to your public IP, and that public IP is mapped to your VM. And that is the VM where I have hosted my application. So this is the way how the things are happening. I hope you got the answer. So let's move to the next slide here. What are the job opportunities we having for the full stack developer right now? So this number keep changing. So right now, if you're looking at the timejobs.com, so the number of jobs for the full stack developer is 41,000 plus. Naukri we having the 32,000 plus. LinkedIn 14,000 plus. Indeed 12.5 thousand plus. Glassdoor 8.5 thousand plus. So these are the number of job openings we having on the respective job portals, and these numbers keep changing. Okay, so let's say today we having such number, at the end of the month they can vary, next month they can vary, but this is the almost number we having. So we having the many of jobs available on the various job portals. So companies are looking for the full stack developer. Now let's move to the next slide. What is the salary, career scope? If we're looking for the Stack developer career scope, so managed developer can hired by the Accenture, Cognizant, SCL, IBM, Saxo Bank, and many top MNCs we having in the world. And this is the average salary. So average salary is starting from here 3.5 lakhs to 8.2 lakhs, at 4 lakhs to 12 lakhs. So company to company they vary. Even based upon your skill set, based upon your experience, the salary will vary. So it is start from 3.5 lakhs and will goes to the 32 lakhs as well, or more than that also. It depends for which company you are going to apply and what are the skill set you are having. So this is the average salary we having. So salary also good if you are going to be hired as a full stack developer. Now let's move to the next slide where we having the career scope for the full stack .NET developer. So full stack .NET developer also having the similar salary range. We don't have much difference. As I said here, as a Java full stack developer also will have the similar salary. So we'll not find out much differences. Differences will come when the skill set will be changed. Because in every area we having the many skill set to it. So keep adding the skill set and keep getting the higher package. So package will be better if you will keep adding the more technology into your skill set around that stack. Simply. So I have done from my side. What are the things you should know? What are the career scope? What are the jobs we having? Everything I shown to you. Now, if you have any query, any doubt, please do ask. You can host in any cloud provider. Most of them give free tier. Okay, that is the answer. What about others? Do you have any other query? So, what are the question you have? You can keep ask here. So now, how many people are willing to become a full stack developer here? Can you tell me what you want to become? Full stack .NET developer, full stack JavaScript developer, full stack Java developer. For which profile you are looking for? Can you tell me? Okay, where I can learn the CI/CD with Git. If you're going to learn a CI/CD on my YouTube channel, I'm having a video about it, how to make a CI/CD. I'm sharing the link for that one. You can refer that. If you're looking for how to build the CI/CD, that is a CI/CD I have designed using the Azure. So you can refer this link. Any other things? And guys, if you're coming to the channel first time, I request to everyone please do like and subscribe because such session we having on every week. So whenever we having that such session every week and you having the doubts, you having the queries, you can keep asking. Even we share many videos over there. We having the courses available on our YouTube channel on Angular, React. We having the courses on ASP.NET Core. Interview question answer also there. If you are preparing yourself for such thing, you can prepare by doing the things. And full stack development course, what you are going to integrate? We are going to integrate Angular with .NET Core. So we learn Angular. Ask narrows no take things. Many company only hire for the experienced developer. We having so many companies in our touch who are hiring only fresher as a full stack developer. If you're willing to apply, you can look for the scorerhead.com job opportunities section. There we have mentioned many companies are only hiring for fresher as a full stack developer. There is no such limitation. So it depends project to project. Some company hire the experienced one, some company hire the fresher, but there is no such rule. Both types of people companies are hiring. Anything else? So guys, within 5 minutes, I will wrap up the session. So what are the queries you having? Please do ask. I will answer them. So, for which profile you are looking for? Can you tell me? Full stack .NET, full stack Java, full stack JavaScript, let's say Marne stack or Mini stack. For which profile you are looking for? Can you tell me? If you're looking for making a portfolio as a .NET developer, suggestion is for everyone is make your GitHub profile better. So make your GitHub profile where you have added many labs, many workflow to create. As I said here, create a workflow for the shopping cart, create a workflow for login, sign up, create a workflow for the the blog website. Then only you can make a good portfolio. And this is for everyone. If you are not going to be hired by a company, the reason behind it, you have not made your portfolio proper. So make sure everyone has made a good portfolio on the GitHub so that you can showcase in your resume. And when someone is visiting what the things you have done apart from the learning, so the company will impress. The company will understand, okay, this is the person who did something. So this is the person who is having the not only the knowledge, this is the person who can connect the things, who having the proper understanding. So do work on your GitHub profile for doing that. I hope makes sense to everyone. Any other things do you have? Okay, guys, thank you for joining the today session. I hope you got the things and see you in the next session. Bye bye.